Hello, everybody. This is Tanya Smith, and I have a special guest with us tonight, Darius Santos. You know
Hello.
what, Darius? I didn't ask you, Santos or Santos?
Santos.
Santos. Okay, awesome sauce. And it looks like we are live inside of my Facebook page, and we're also broadcasting to a couple of different smaller Facebook groups as well, because a lot of folks were interested in hearing what you had to say about the Dubb platform. I've just been talking it up, Darius.
Awesome. Love it. Very cool. Thank you.
It has made my life so much easier. I am going to basically just talk for a few seconds about what this show, what this live stream is all about, and then I'm going to really turn it over to Darius because we really want to hear from him. If you are watching us live, or even if you're watching in the replay, please don't hesitate to leave some comments and ask us questions. If you're with us live, we can actually display your questions on screen. So please ask away. Let us know if you have any comments, if there's anything that you want to know a little bit more about as we go through. But I'll ask you this question for those of you who are watching. If you ever found yourself trying to figure out, how do I use more video to get more clients? How do I use it to integrate into every possible step of my sales cycle? If you're asking yourself those questions, I found Dubb to be an amazing tool to help you do just that. So I asked Darius to come and talk to us because I thought he would be excellent being the CRO of Dubb. So I'm just going to read a couple of really quick sentences about him. But then, Darius, I'm going to ask you to just talk about yourself a little bit too. Darius is a keynote speaker and author, a video sales evangelist, and the CRO of Dubb.com. He is also very passionate about helping people in sales and marketing to achieve their success by using the latest technology. So, of course, Dubb would be right up your alley, Darius.
Right?
And this is something I thought was really interesting is he's currently writing a fantasy novel.
Yes.
I'll let you decide if you want to tell us a little bit more about that, but what about you do we not know that you would like for people to know about you?
Mm, I'm just like crazy passionate about whatever I get into, whatever I dive into. I can't help but give it 110%. It's just like whatever it is. It can be anything, and it's like if I get into it, I full force, without I put on blinders and I'm just there. So that's how I kind of do with everything.
Well, that's awesome
Yeah.
because that makes things work, right? I mean, if
Right?
you
Yeah.
don't
You
have
gotta
a
hit
passion
it,
for
hit
it,
it, hit it until you know it's going to work or not, and then you can move on when you're like, okay, I gave it 110, didn't work out. Now I can rest easy knowing that I tried.
that's right. That's exactly right. Awesome. So I'm going to turn it over to you to just talk a little bit about Deb, and then we'll leave some time for questions towards the end. Let me go ahead and share my screen if you're ready for me to do that.
Yeah, let's pop right into those couple little slides I had. And
Okay.
yeah.
So we'll do slides first,
Mm-hmm.
and let me just kind of share.
And don't worry, guys, we're not going to bore you with slides. It's just a couple things just to kind of break things off, and then we're going to get right into some more interesting visuals and actual data and some important facts and things like that. Cool. All right. So this is just the opening slide. Go ahead and click to the next one. It's just we're going to talk a little bit about using video specifically for some sales features. Click 3 times. It's just a little bit about Dubb. We are a mobile app. We're a screen recorder, desktop app, and web browser. So we basically give you the ability to make videos wherever you want. Go ahead and click one more time. So just some really important stats. So why use video? I know Tanya was talking about, some things about maybe a little bit further you've already considered using video, but for those that might not be just like, why use video? Here's just some really powerful stats. I won't bore you with too many of these, but they're very important. Without considering anything else, you're going to get a 7 to 14% increase in open rates just by having the word video in your subject lines. And that's from Cisco. Those are big guys, so this is really reputable sources. 80% increased conversions on landing pages that contain videos, and that's from Unbounce, another huge player. If you don't have check out Unbounce. They're awesome with landing pages. 90% and 64% about how using video has informed them and makes them purchase. So, and then finally, 65% increased click-through rate on videos or emails containing videos, and then 26% less unsubscribes. So, who couldn't, who wouldn't want stats like that? So just without any other context, just video in general in these applications, you can expect this type of incremental lift. So go ahead and jump into that first page that I had open, the Dubb video on the back end, the one that I had you log into my account with. So the idea here is the way Dubb works is we allow you to create the videos however you want. So you can use your cell phone, you can use your webcam, you can use a videographer. Basically, you can take these videos, or you can even take existing videos, anything you have. You can upload it to the platform, and then what we allow you to do is customize these videos, and you can add things like your calls to actions, branding, lots of ways to actually use videos to drive conversions. And then what we also do is help with the distribution of these. So you can do things like we have direct integration with LinkedIn. We can put them through Facebook or Instagram. We also have really kind of robust email sending services, so you can send out campaigns. You can build out automations. We also work very well in conjunction with existing tools, because we really like to meet people where they work. If you already have a system and it's already working, we don't need to reinvent the wheel. We just want to make it a little bit more efficient. So what we do is we have a kind of universal compatibility where we can drop videos into just about any other email marketing tool. And also, like I said, social campaigns, text messages, you name it, we can get a video inside of that channel. And then because I was talking about the distribution, we also have some things for distributing the videos through really any other channel. So we have a couple of direct integrations with things like LinkedIn. And also we have a mobile app, which has some really cool functionality. I think we're going to really take over this space in terms of mobile app video functionality, things like pausing and flipping and turning the camera, and you can put all those into the same video. So it's kind of like having a video editor without needing to do any editing. So you can splice these clips together to make a nice, kind of punchy, fun video without ever needing to do any editing yourself. You just hit pause, record, and you got it. I probably wouldn't be able to show you the app here, but I encourage you to check it out yourselves. It's free, so we have a completely free version of the software as well, which I encourage everyone to test out. There's a free trial, and then there's a free version. So just be aware of those. Tanya, could you find that one page that was had you log into my account, and it's kind of like the back window of the Dubb video. So the important thing that Dubb does is, instead of just sending someone to a YouTube video, which I don't want to bash on it, but when we're sending people to YouTube, it can really kind of hurt our success, because sending them to YouTube, they're going to have a ton of advertisements and distractions. And based on their search history, there's a pretty good chance of them being delivered an advertisement of a competitor. And not to mention, we don't really have any accountability or anything like that there. So when we're using Dubb, we can actually track everything from clicks, like who's clicked, who's watched, what percentage they've watched, if they clicked any call to action buttons, really every bit of the engagement with a video we can track. And this is whether it's sent through a text message, a social media, or email. So regardless of how the messages are sent, we're going to be able to track 100% of the engagement with the videos. Good. Yeah, that one there. And then go ahead and click on that Darius from Dubb video, the one where I look kind of yellow. That guy. So what this is just a little back end view of the video itself. So here you can see things like the general stats, where you see, it shows some click-through rates, some email clicks, and then you can also see how the video is performing. And then you see specific activity feed, where it shows, who's opening the video, who's clicking, things like that. And you can also filter this activity. You can download it. So there's lots of ways to kind of have more intelligent sales ops. You can also have real-time activity reporting. So you can see specifically when someone's watching the video, or when they're clicking the link, or when they're engaging with your email, which gives you the opportunity to follow up with them in real time. It's kind of like I don't know, being psychic or something, but you don't necessarily let them want to know, hey, I know exactly what you're doing without you knowing it. But it does give you the opportunity to kind of have that intelligence. And so the way we work, as I mentioned, we have a kind of universal compatibility. So if you want to scroll up just a bit, Tanya, and you see there's that copy for email there. What that allows you to do is you can either put these right into other channels through one of the drop downs, or you can press the copy for email itself and paste these videos into nearly any channel. That's without the direct integration. So as I mentioned, we do have direct integration right into the channel. Tanya, do you want to pull up that Gmail interface now? So I just want to give you guys a preview of what it actually looks like in the email itself. So here's an example of what a Dubb video looks like in an email. You can see that little bit of personalization text right on top of it where it says, hey, first name. And now that can be anything you want. And the cool part is you can actually send this one video to 1,000 people and it'll have their first name right on top of the video and also on the page where the whole video plays. Which is really cool because that's what we want. We want the personalization, but obviously if we have a list of a couple hundred or 1,000 people, we're not going to be able to make custom videos for each of them. But the more personalized we can make these videos look and feel, the better chance they have of driving a conversion. All right, now go ahead and actually share that first link I gave you in the chat. We had that. I get that first link. So what actually happens when they click this thumbnail? They either click on the video itself or the play button, or there's a little button below it. What happens if they receive this through their email, text message, or social channel? It's going to be the same type of action. So when they click this, it takes them to the full video page, which she's going to have here just 1 second.
Yep, hold on 1 second because I'm having a little trouble actually copying it in here.
Uh-oh.
I may have to just type it in. I'll do that while you're talking.
Okay, so the way that the landing page works is whether they're opening it from text or social or email or wherever they're getting it from, it's going to take them to that page where we're going to have a ton of functionality. It's going to have, that's where all the tracking takes place. We can also have all their branding opportunities. So your own logos, your own custom URL, background color. We want to make sure that everything's just cohesive with your own branding. And now this is really important, again, because when we go back to the YouTube thing, we talk about sending people to YouTube, and it's a great resource, but it's not so great for branding and tracking and sales opportunities. It's like, yes, we do have the potential of delivering the information, but there's also a huge potential of them dropping off or being distracted and then not taking the action that we want them to take. So that's really where our pages come into play, which is exactly what we're looking at here. So this is an example of a Dubb page. You can kind of see the logo in the top corner there. That would be your own. The logo as the watermark on the video player, that would also be your own. The background, the play button, the play window, all those things are very customizable to just make sure it's cohesive with your own branding and marketing. And then one of the most important things you can see there, we have a couple buttons below the video. One that says book a time with Darius. Now that's actually a direct integration with my calendar. And Tanya, if you just go a little bit lower, you'll see that my calendar is right there on the video page. So talk about being able to make a conversion right from a video. We can go from the very top of the funnel where they don't yet know who we are or what we're offering. But if we have a nice compelling video with some impactful statements, we can potentially take someone right from the top all the way to an appointment. Go ahead and scroll back up. So these buttons here, they can be really programmed to do anything we want them to. We can have them direct calendar integration. They can download an attachment. They can fill out a form. They can go to a website. We can even have them make videos of their own. It's actually a really powerful way of collecting like video testimonial. So the recipient doesn't need to download, install, or sign up for anything. They just click one button, give access to their camera, and then it's going to allow them to send you a video of their own. And you can then download that and leverage it in lots of different ways. What you just saw there was an exit intent pop-up, which is just another one of those features that we have that's really designed to increase the sales and conversion potential of these pages. So the other thing you might notice is it says now playing, and then it says whatisdubb.com. That is an example of a playlist. So what we've done that for is, when we're sending these videos through email or through text or through anything else, it's going to show a timestamp. And it also, as I was mentioning, we want the personalization, but then we want the production value. And so there's this balance we have to find, because if we add like subtitles and graphics and all this cool stuff to the videos, we're not going to be able to personalize that at all, because then every video is going to take hours. So what we've done here is we've actually allowed you to splice these videos together. So you can have a very custom intro where you're like, hey, Tanya, I just wanted to say that this is so awesome being on your webinar, and I love being a part of your live event. And then if you want to stay tuned, we're going to talk about more detailed information in the next video. And then it just segues right into the second video without needing for them to click or install or click play or reload or do anything. So it's almost like the two videos are spliced together really seamlessly. And that's without having to do movie editing or go into iMovie or Movavi or whatever we're using. We can just do it right on Dubb, and it's really instant. You just add the video on as a playlist, and they'll play back to back, and you still get the tracking and all the cool features that you would be able to have from the first video. So this is pretty much how these pages work. They're completely brandable and customizable for your own stuff, which is really important, because that's what we're missing out with on YouTube. And maybe you've heard of a screen recorder like Loom. Again, that's where we're missing out, is like the branding and the CTAs. Is what we're creating these videos not for fun. We're creating the videos to really drive steps and activities and actions. And we want accountability and tracking for that, so we can know how our videos are performing, how our CTAs are performing. And then the tracking really gives us opportunities that we wouldn't have otherwise. Because when you send an email, yeah, you can see if the email was opened. Maybe you can see if a link was clicked. But with video, you can actually see exactly how much they're engaging with. So if you send a video to 1,000 people or 100 people, and a large percentage of them are only watching a small percentage of your video, then you know that there's a disconnect there, that there's something about the video itself, maybe the messaging, the length of the script, that isn't quite right. And then we can go back into the drawing board and reiterate that. The other thing is we can say if they watched 100% of the video but didn't take an action, we can follow up with them as well and say, hey, I saw you watch my video. I'm just super curious, what's preventing you from taking the next step? And then we can learn some objections and then build those into our next series of outbound messages with those objection handlers built in, because we learned what was preventing them from taking the action, because we knew that they consumed the information but didn't take action. Whereas if someone opens an email, that could be a web crawler, it could be anything, and they didn't even read the email. And now we're following up and saying, hey, why didn't we take action? And they're like, well, I didn't even know what your offer was. So really, that's where all the tracking and stuff plays a big important role. And besides this, as I mentioned earlier, we have a ton of distribution options as well, because yeah, we have the videos, but now how do we get them in front of people? The most common thing is just to post them to social. And what we actually have is a nice strategy there. Because when you are posting to social, we always recommend to upload the MP4 version of the video so that it plays natively within the social channel. So if it's LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, you want to upload the MP4 version of the video. But then again, it's like, how do we capture the data from that? So what we would do is in the comments, you put as the first comment a link to another video where we say, hey, thanks so much for engaging with my post. If you want more information, you can take action through one of the buttons below. We can schedule a time, or we can download an ebook or fill out a form, really do whatever we want them to do. And that way we can actually leverage videos on social for real engagement. Because otherwise we're just getting likes and shares, or maybe we're following up with the people that comment. But otherwise it's much more difficult than driving them to a landing page right from a social video. So besides social, which is the most common place we want to put our videos, email marketing is what actually we do really well. We have campaign tools so that you can send out large broadcasts of emails. You can put one video to 1,000 people, or however large your list is. We can also build out automation so they can be as simple or as complicated as you want. It can be 10 emails or 20. It can be a whole year worth of campaigns you can build right in our system. And then, of course, text messaging is very functional as well to go along with the mobile app. So we can text these videos to people. And then we also have some embedding options. Tanya, if you can click that second link that I gave you, or we're having some trouble copying it, huh?
No, I actually have it. I'm ready to go on that, but I wanted to give you a heads up that we do have some questions that are sitting. So
Cool.
I'll make sure we open that up after you go through this next screen.
Okay. Cool,
Just wanted to give you a heads up.
Right on. Yeah, I love questions. Keep them coming. Right. Come up with anything you can ask me. I'd love to answer them. So now's really your chance. It's to get kind of the inside of a marketing PhD mind. So whatever you guys need, not technically a PhD, but I do know marketing very well, and video marketing specifically. So fire away.
Okay, so I'm pulling up your other link, and I'm going to share that here just now.
Okay. So what this is an example, as I mentioned, of embedding videos onto websites and landing pages. So Tanya, if you can actually kind of scroll up and down, I just want to show a couple things, because there's this little widget video that's in the bottom right corner. Actually looks like my face might be covering it. Not a big deal. You can see the video. It's the same video that's in the center of the page. But the idea here is that we can that I want. What I was going to say is the cool part about using these instead of YouTube or some other embedding service is your CTA buttons actually get displayed on top of the video after it's finished. Tanya, if you go ahead and click play on that center video and then just scroll right to the end of the video.
Creation. We're going to talk about
right to the 24th. There you go. And then it puts the button right on top of the video. So it's pretty cool. So that way you can actually have people take multiple actions from a video. I know a lot of the time we have a button or something on the website or landing page, but in those times that we don't and the videos floating them around, or maybe we want specific actions taken from those videos, just a nice way. It's another way of leveraging video. So really, we've covered every channel you can think of. You know, if it's your social, text, email, websites, and landing pages, you name it, we can get a video on it, we can track it and brand it and have all those powerful features that allow us to create conversions and opportunities and clients from videos. So I think that's kind of it for the very quick kind of run through of what Dubb does. Let's go ahead and jump into some questions, my favorite part.
Okay, awesome. So I'm seeing a lot of comments, and let me see. First of all, let me show that Mischelle said, I like that. So what you just said, she's loving it. And she has a lot of questions. So I'm going to pop up her first one first. And I think this is an excellent one. This is one that I get a lot. What's the difference between bombbomb and Dubb?
Great. I love this question. I go through this. We actually go through these deals all the time. We go head to head. And I got to say, we win 99% of these deals. The only time I've lost the deal is when they're like, well, everyone's on bombbomb and they're just pressuring me and whatever. So other than that, okay, so let me start from the top. The first thing is the level of personalization. So we have that personalization text. We have the unique URLs. You can brand every part of those pages and videos so that, you know, when you send a bombbomb video, the URL is like bb dot blah, 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 like 1,500 letters. No one wants to click on that link because they don't know what it is. Whereas if it says, hey, first name, and has their name in the URL, it makes it a little bit more attractive. And then the video itself has their name on it and on the landing page. The next thing is the calls to action. So the direct calendar integration, some of the other CTAs like that are really unique to us that are going to be available, such as the direct calendar integration. There's a couple other, can't think of right now, let me think. The exit intent pop-up, a lot of features that are really specific to us in terms of driving conversions. I know bombbomb and us do have a lot of similarities, like the integrations with Gmail, the screen recorder. The other thing that we do that is not going to be included in bombbomb is the coaching that we provide. So we actually connect one-on-one with all of our clients, and we provide just a step-by-step tutorial of exactly what they're trying to accomplish. So if it's for sales, for marketing, for social, for websites, whatever we're trying to do, we actually help you guys set up with things like scripts, video length, CTA structure. We want to make sure you guys have a complete understanding of why and where and how these videos are going out to people. And we actually record those calls. We upload them to your library so that that's a reusable asset that you can train other team members with and things like that.
And I can tell you from personal experience too, Darius, for me, the reason why I chose this one, I chose Dubb over bombbomb, and there was another one whose name I won't mention. I chose you guys because of the customer service. So that was the big thing, that whenever I asked a question, you were able to answer fairly quickly and get me up and running so that I didn't have to try to figure things out. But the other thing, you're right, was the calendar integration for me was another huge thing, because I do like to book discovery calls and coaching sessions. And using your service with Book Like a Boss, that was the final. It was like, okay, yeah, I'm in.
Right. Yeah, cool. So. The other thing, last but not least, because I don't like to talk about price first, because it's functionality is first, but we are also significantly less expensive than bombbomb. So
that's true. That's another thing.
Yeah, last little icing on the cake. Does it work with ConvertKit? Yeah, absolutely. So as I mentioned, we do have near universal compatibility. The only platform I've seen that we haven't worked with in recent times has been the most recent iteration of Infusionsoft. We're currently working with their dev team to get into their marketplace, because we do work with the classic Infusionsoft, but since they rebranded to Keep, they made it to where you can only use YouTube and Vimeo links. So we're working on that. But other than that, we'd work with 99% of other CRMs. That copy and paste functionality will allow you to drop videos into just about any channel you can think of.
Awesome. Awesome. I've got another question that's popping up. Can we use this platform to host videos for courses?
Absolutely. So we do have a lot of people that host their courses with us. As I mentioned, we do provide the embedding and the hosting, so unlimited storage capabilities. You can also password protect your videos. So that's a nice way to kind of keep them gated. You can give the passwords out. And then what we actually have some other people do is you can make duplicates of your videos. And then that way, when you bring a new group of course students on, they have access to the new video and then the old one goes away. You can actually set your videos to auto delete as well, so that you don't want to give access forever, so they have limited time access and then it kind of disappears into the ether. So yeah, you can definitely host your videos on here. I would say that we're not a complete course platform. I don't want to go overboard here, because there's definitely platforms like Kajabi or that do the course thing probably more robust than we do, but we definitely provide all the storage for your videos.
Where I can see, and personally, because I do a lot of online courses, Darius, is I can see that Dubb is excellent for onboarding people into the course.
Yeah.
So where I use LearnDash and WordPress, what I can basically do is have, as new people are arriving or new people are asking questions about the course before they even sign up, is share a Dubb video with them, letting them know a few more details and giving them space, those buttons to ask questions about the program. So that's
another great. Oh, sorry.
That's
I know I was going to say another awesome opportunity for videos in courses is post purchase, because we want to build this tribe up. For our courses, it's not just like, oh, we got the course, goodbye forever. No, we want to get these people into our family and into our tribe. We want to build a whole kind of tribe around us, and so that's really where a video plays a big part of that as well. So post purchase, they should be getting thank you videos, anniversary videos, if you collect it, holidays. Things like that, promotions, specials. There's all these reasons to reach out to our tribe, and we want to make sure that we're doing that in the most kind of impactful way possible. So that's another big part of it is post-purchase. We want to have this mastermind group or ways to kind of tap into, because specifically to sales, no one's easier to sell to than someone you've already sold to in the past.
That's
so
right.
Always keep that in mind. Cost.
Somebody's asking about cost.
Yeah, cost. Okay, so we do have a little promotion running right now. It's going to be specific to Tanya. So we're going to have a unique affiliate code with Tanya. It's going to give you 25% off. And so instead of the $40 per month, it would be $30 per month. And it would actually only be about $288 for the year. So typically $480. We give you a 20% discount off the top. And then we're going to give you another 25% for attending today, if you want to use the promo code we're going to provide here at the end.
Okay, and I'll make sure to include that. I can put it across the screen too, Darius, when we're ready.
Cool.
Okay, here's a couple more questions. They're coming in.
Right on.
Will it work with Dubb Sato? I'm not sure if I'm familiar with that platform.
Let me see. Yeah, I'm not sure what Dubb Sato is, but I would say that like I said, I've only seen one or two platforms that we were not able to get our videos into. And it's because it's some really restrictive stuff on the back end. So unless they're huge players like Infusionsoft, I would say that we're probably not going to have that problem. We'll definitely be able to drop the links in there.
Here's another question. I'm not sure if it does fit. Customer service. Well, it's not a question. This is a statement.
Okay,
it is a question. How hard is it to contact you?
So good question. So we do have chat support that's available, just like we have here in Be Live. Got a little intercom support. So that's available. And then we also have email support. And then you also have access to your coaching calls where we can schedule a call. So the only thing that we would need to wait for an answer would be if we want to meet in person or through Zoom. That would typically have to be scheduled a little bit ahead of time. Sometimes we can do it definitely within the same day, maybe even within the same hour. Depends on availability. Typically, we would want to say at least a day in advance for meeting through Zoom. Otherwise, we would have instant chat support, email support through most of the almost 24 hours a day. Not quite 24.
All right. And here's another question. Can you edit?
Just very light editing capabilities, because editing videos online ends up being a lot more processing. So you have to, every time you do any step, like a trim or anything, it needs to be re-uploaded and re-transcoded and then re-delivered to the site. So I would recommend offline editing, because it's going to be much faster for one, and it's going to just be easier in general. So not quite a video editor. We do have trimming, but not anything heavier than that.
And I would say for me, when I have had to redo a video, it's so simple. It's so easy to use. Literally, I take my smartphone, record the video, and then press the button on the app, the mobile app, to upload it into Dubb.
Nice.
So it doesn't take any time at all to create these. So I delete mine. If I mess it up, I'll delete it and just start a new one and have that uploaded literally in seconds and
Yeah.
redo the page.
That's typically what I recommend too. I mean, if you got to also be in the sense that when you are, they don't have to be a perfect take every time. So if it's just little hiccups here and there, that's definitely fine. You know, we could even leave those in. I mean, unless it's you're really trying to have the suit and tie, you know, like buttoned up, really tight look, then I would say, then yeah, be a perfectionist. Otherwise, many of these videos we're creating, they're displaying our human element. You know, they're showing who we really are, and we don't have to, you know, be so shy to have a perfect take. I would say, you know, be yourself and let the real you shine through, because when we put on a mask, it's going to show immediately. So if you're trying to do this thing where you have this announcer voice, it just really makes the whole presentation a lot stiffer. So be yourself. But at the same time, you know, warm it up. It's just like anything else. You know, if you're going to do something, you know, don't have your first take be your last take. I would say, warm it up, get your breath going. You know, you're going to get your script by your second or third take, if it makes sense to do that. Like if it's a video that's going to be seen by a lot of people, I'd say do a couple takes. If it's just a quick one-off and you're shooting a cell phone, it's all right if you have a little mess up.
I do it all the time. Here was, I think, one more question, but if anybody has further questions, feel free to go ahead and add those. Now, if you're in one of the Facebook groups, let me just let you know, I can't see your comments while we're in Be Live. So head on over to the Facebook page at facebook.com, Tanya Smith Online. Leave the group and come over to that page if you want to ask a question that we can see. Okay, so how does it work for vlogs? So this is similar, I think, to the course question.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So what we would do is we host all your vlogs for you, so you don't have to worry about like storage on your computer, and we would allow you to distribute those accordingly. So whether that's email, text, or your social channels. For vlogs, excuse me, I still recommend putting them on YouTube for the SEO purposes and for the viewers, and that's the appropriate channel for them. But if you want to take them outside, like for your email marketing and social distribution, you can help drive some more traffic to your YouTube vlogs by, you know, hosting them on our platform and kind of getting them out there accordingly.
And then having a button that says, you know, go sign up, subscribe to my YouTube channel.
Got it. Yep.
Awesome. I think that is, I'm scanning through to make sure I didn't miss anyone.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there will probably be some additional questions, which I can forward to you, Darius, because I have a lot of people that watch the replay.
Yeah, please do.
So, yeah, if anything pops up. So what's that code? And I'll make sure to share it across the screen.
Yeah, let's share my email and the code. So
Okay.
The code is just Tanya with a capital T, and it is case sensitive. So nice and simple code. The way this guy goes is it actually is on the checkout page itself. So when you go to first sign up for Dubb, there's going to be a little referral code. That's not where this one goes. This goes on the checkout page. So when you go to subscribe to a plan, you'll see the total drop down from 40 to 30 a month, or it would be from the 384 to 288 for the year. So on the checkout page, you'll see a little box that says coupon code or referral code. That's where it goes. Not on the sign up, on the checkout page. And then if you want to put my email up there too, darius@dubb.com. And then that way we will, any questions we have from any of the post recordings, anything like that, shoot me an email. I'm very responsive, happy to help with anything you guys got. So fire away and be sure to take advantage of that promo code.
Okay, and I did get a comment, which I'll just read it to you instead of putting it on top of all of these.
Yeah.
Somebody asked, so it is similar to Vimeo. I would say, and I can try to answer this, but then you tag on, Darius, if you think of anything else. I would say that Vimeo is used differently. I would also say that Dubb is, because of the way the purpose of Dubb is different from the purpose of Vimeo. So when you're thinking about how to integrate it into different parts of your sales cycle, when I say that, what I mean is if I'm, for instance, looking to use it to introduce myself on LinkedIn to someone that just connected with me, there's a really simple way to do that. You can't do that with Vimeo as easily because there's an integration where you'll see a little Dubb sign in your LinkedIn messaging. You can click on that, create the video, boom, it goes to them. They can see your landing page and everything else. Vimeo doesn't give you all the capabilities that something like Dubb does. It's just because they're a different purpose for each of those.
Yeah, very accurate what you've said. The other thing I would say is that, we do, I think, just about everything Vimeo does. So I think Vimeo is just the video storage, which we definitely take care of. Unlimited storage, so you can put as many videos on here as you want, and then you also get the added benefit of the call to actions, which is something you won't get with Vimeo.
And then there was another comment. I'll read it. Here, I'll put that up real quick instead. Try to move some of those out of the way. I like this comment. It's really smart to do this with Darius. Thank you, Renee.
Thank you, Renee.
Yep, because that was a final factor. Although it wasn't the number one thing for me. It was a factor when I was making a decision myself about which one.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, for me, the ease of use, the flexibility, and the versatility of using Dubb, that's what convinced me. Because once upon a time, I had a bombbomb account and I had another account with another company, and I just wasn't as pleased. It wasn't as easy for me to learn how to use it. Dubb was super simple to use. So, all right.
Yeah, like I said, we go head to head with bombbomb all the time, and I have respect for those guys over there, and they're great. But I mean, I have to say, I think we have a superior offer.
I think it's worth it. If you're looking at them, I think it's worth to do the trial with both of them, and then you make a decision about what works for you. Because I think that a lot of people do enjoy and appreciate bombbomb, and it has been around for a long time. Like with everything, I always tell people, I tell my clients, I tell anybody who's watching my videos, experiment and see what works for you, because what works for me and for Darius may be different depending on your platform and your audiences. So,
and your taste. I mean, it's like, the user interfaces are definitely very different. We didn't look at each other's platform when building, so they're completely different interfaces. So what might be intuitive and comfortable for somebody else might seem like alien language to another person. So as Tanya said, definitely take advantage of the free trial on both. Do the head-to-head.
All right, folks. Well, thank you so much, Darius. I'm sorry to keep you over time a little bit.
No, we're good. We're all good.
But I appreciate that you took the time to answer the questions. And again, for those of you who have asked, thank you for your participation. And if you do have additional questions and you're kind of trying to make a decision about it, again, do the trial. Check it out. See for yourself. And feel free to just private message me, because I can show you some of my own pages and how I've been using it in just about every case. For instance, I'll give you an example that, Darius, you didn't mention, but when I created a program, I actually have a video scripts that people can download. So it's my lead magnet from my website, and my thank you page is a Dubb page.
Wonderful.
So it allows people to download, but then I also direct them to join or become part of my Facebook community on that video page, where I'm giving them a personal thank you for downloading the video script. So
cool. Right on.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you again, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you guys for coming in. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye-bye.